to be exact, Northern KZN. And this is, of course, the venue or the host for the annual Umthayi Marula Festival. It takes place around these parts every single year. I think it was only last year that we didn't come to these parts, but we're here every single year. And, of course, Inkosi Mabhudu Tembe has seen this festival grow in leaps and bounds. And when we walked in this year, we're told that a factory is being built. It will cost about 20 million rand, and it will employ about 100 people from the village, permanent jobs. And to tell us more about the factories, Inkosi himself. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning, Lebo, and the viewers.
Let's talk about this year's festival. I mean, we've spoken about the drought. It must have affected this year's harvest. How has that affected the harvest this year?
Oh yes, we had a very bad year this year, as we all aware that we had a very bad drought in the country. We're also being affected with that.
Talk to us about this year's festival. What can we look forward to?
Oh yes, this is a very exciting year since, we've been looking forward to have a factory, and this year we're actually going to announce to the community that this year the factory will be official open, in a sense that we're going to create a job opportunity, since we know that our country, we got a lack of job creation.
The consultations, we know that you're involved with the Department of Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs. They have a big role to play in this. What were the consultations like between the royal family and the department?
Yes, we got a full support with our provincial government, the Department of Economic Development. They play such a big role, and the Department of Agriculture, of course, they are also creating a big role, in a sense that they are actually going to hand over the factory to the Department of Economic Development. So these two departments, they work hand in hand, of course, with the Department of COGTA as well. They're also playing such a big role. What
will this factory do?
The factory is going to have a multi-product. We will have a jam on the product. We'll have nuts that is going to use in a soup, in a different food. And then we also going to have a lot of multi-product. We're still going to learn to a number of factories that are up and running in South Africa, in Swaziland, so that we can actually bring those skills around the area.
We believe the factory will only be open much later in the year. What is the progress? What is the status at the moment of the factory?
The factory is 100% complete, in a sense that if all goes well, we're supposed to open it today. But I think we'll do some symbolics today, and then after that we'll make sure that we'll start to do the training, and then we'll do those visitors to visit Limpopo, to visit in Swaziland and in Bushbuckridge. We'll make sure that we'll train people before we could actually come to operation.
How do you then select those people? You spoke about the high number of unemployment in this country and in this region in general. How do you then select who then works for the factory, who doesn't?
It will depend to the skills. We'll make sure that we'll talk to the people openly, and then after that we'll make sure that we'll actually going to employ those who are very needy, and we'll make sure that we'll employ the people who's got a know-how of the Marula operation. And then after that, we'll take those who I think will outsource the skill that we don't have around in the area.
How much of a contribution will you make as Inkosi in the day-to-day runnings of this factory?
Yes, we'll make sure that we'll start by farming the Marula, since we know that we are harvesting Marula in the middle of nowhere. So we need to make sure that we zone at least 50 hectares to start with, and then we'll engage some other departments to come on board so that they can help us in terms of having that 50 hectares to be in place. And after that, we'll make sure that we're also going to encourage people who are not living in Kwa-Tembe to harvest, so that we can be able to have more Marula, so that we can make sure that this factory, it will be up and running throughout the season.
All right, so what's going to happen today? What are the celebrations that we can look forward to?
Oh yes, the celebration, it will be normal, since we all are aware that this celebration is not actually focusing in the country of South Africa. We are also encouraging the Mozambicans to come on board, since we know that the border is actually cut us into two. So we felt that this celebration, it should be revived in Mozambique. As we all are aware that in Swaziland they are continuing celebrating this the Marula Festival. So what we want to take it forward, we want to make sure that whatever that we are doing here, we are also going to encourage the Mozambicans to do the same. In a sense that our MEC of Economic Development is actually announced that we'll host this Marula Festival here in South Africa, and then we'll move to Mozambique to do the same, and after that we'll do it in Swaziland. So we'll do this tripartite to make sure that we are sustaining the economy, just to revive what you call the LSDI, where the former democratic president Nelson Mandela, he actually encouraged the LSDI to make sure that it's benefiting these three countries, South Africa, Mozambique and Swaziland.
All right, Inkosi, thank you so much for talking to us. Inkosi Mabhudu Tembe talking to us about the Umthayi Marula Festival, as well as what is going to happen today, as well as the factory that's going to be officially opened today, creating about 100 jobs, cost about 20 million rand. We'll chat to the MEC of Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Mike Mabuyakulu, about the costs and employment and, some of the issues surrounding the festival and how it has grown in the past 5 years. All right, let's take a break. Stay with us.